It's definitely picking up fast. Or maybe it's just getting out here.
Well, I just feel so unbelievably lucky to be allowed to live on Lake Superior.
Lake Superior is such an amazing place. I think it's really important to protect that because just because it's so unique, it's one of the only places like it in the whole world. And so just to be able to swim in there every day, get our water from there, it's pretty special. So I feel like we really need to protect that resource.
The climate is it's changing, and one of the ways it's changing in a big way around here is unpredictability with the weather and just not knowing what we can expect anymore. And it's a shame, because we're losing our boreal forest, the water's heating up, fishing is terrible right now on the lake.
It's just really important that we go out there and let people know that this is an issue that needs to be resolved.
We sat down and we thought, what can we do? We're sailors, that's our business, that's where we live and all that. And well, let's see if we can get some college kids to go with us and go around the lake and start talking about climate change.
The reality of climate change is that the effects are here and they're happening now. And part of this trip really exposed me to the effects that humans are having on the environment. And they are dramatic and they're threatening many places.
We do a month-long trip in May with university students who live around the lake in various places. And one of the main purposes of that trip is citizen engagement, and particularly student engagement, because what we do is we sail to ports and then we go into the schools and do these presentations and slideshows on climate change on Lake Superior and what does it look like here. Trying to help people connect the dots between what they're seeing outside and what's happening with climate change.
So a lot of people, they don't know how big of a problem it is. It kind of crosses their mind, you shouldn't pollute, stuff like that. But sometimes, I don't know, people they don't know that much about it. So once they are more educated about it, then more people can make a difference and a lot more change can happen.
This is what we do not want to do. We embark on carbon cutting projects. And these are just various projects. We have the original idea, but the kids take it wherever they will. We do where they can start a no idling policy at their school. We do a lot of work with food and composting and where their lunch is coming from. They write letters to their legislators.
And I think it's really important that they understood that they can make such a big difference in their schools alone, let alone the world. So that definitely stuck with me. It gives me a lot of hope. A lot of them were very interested and had a lot of answers, and they just had this great curiosity and drive to make the world a better place.
These kids will be the future, and I have no doubt that they will be brilliant in creating new ways of infrastructure that is a lot more sustainable.
Towards the end of June, we do a 14-day trip with teenagers. Rather than going into schools, we try to do community presentations when we can, and we're also focusing on these Arctic disjunct plants.
And these plants are threatened from climate change, not only warming temperatures, warming water temperatures, warming air temperatures, and also a lack of ice, because when big ice sheets rake over this bedrock year after year, it rakes away all the competition. And these tiny little plants are the ones that survive. But without the ice, ice cover has gone down 79% since 1980 on Lake Superior. We also test water clarity and temperature. We've learned the data, which is that Lake Superior is warming about twice the rate of the air, 2 degrees per decade since 1980. So we know the lake is warming. We have experienced that for sure, even in the last, say, 15 years that we've been sailing on Lake Superior.
When it comes down to it, to me, it always comes back to my kids. I want them to have a livable world.
Well, I think that the younger generation is very active on climate change already, just because we're the ones who are going to inherit this world. And so I think that there's already a lot of really good action being taken by my generation on climate change. And so I think that just will keep progressing as we get older and keep the momentum going.
A change can start from a grassroots level, and that's what we're trying to do. We talked to 800 school kids this year, and 7 different schools, and every single one of those schools committed to a carbon cutting project. And that's just, 8 of us on a boat just doing our own thing without any big financial backing or anything like that. And so we're trying to inspire people to take the next step for the planet, you know, and because they can.
Part of our presentation is we have this big page and it says 50 things you can do to help save the planet, and it's from like buying your food local to don't idle. And then if that's not enough, we have a page with another 50 things you can do.
Not one person can do it all on their own, but there's so many small things that you can do to just try to help things out for yourselves and for your whole community. Be something simple like stop using plastic water bottles.
We are going to transform to renewable energy. It's just a matter of how long that's going to take. We're very hopeful and very positive that we are going to overcome this. It's just how long is it going to take?
What I would say to people who are feeling depressed or overwhelmed is find a group that's inspiring you. Find a project that is going to make a difference and get going, get to work. You know, ease was not the deal of life. You know, it wasn't supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be meaningful. So I don't have a lot of patience for moaning and groaning and, oh, it's all so hopeless. It's like, you can choose for it to be hopeless or you can choose to be part of the solution.